You're watching the B Group selection of our tire shootout. The B Group represents a more affordable, but still capable sport tire solution. If you haven't already, watch our tutorial video to learn how we're conducting this test. Keep in mind, the testimonials in this video are based on our riding impression during blindfold-style testing sessions. Make sure to read the review for the final verdict and ranking of each tire. This tire so far has been my least favorite. It's so flat initially that it makes the bike want to run wide. Like the bike wants to run wide everywhere. It's really hard to stay in line with that tire. And then when you do try to stay in line with that tire, the profile is flat, and then all of a sudden, right when you're about ready to drop your knee, it just goes wham on its side, and it's sketchy, man. It scared me. Happened like 3 or 4 times where I thought the thing was gonna crash or tuck on me. It happened so fast. Grip seemed okay. It was kind of hard to exploit the grip of the tires just because they had such a funky profile and it just didn't feel good at lean. The tire just didn't feel good leaned over. The biggest problem with it is its profile. Its profile is okay through like the first 2/3, but that last little bit where you like put your knee down and lean, it just turns in so quick. It's just scary, man. It's like so unpredictable feeling. It could be good. Like if those engineers for tire 3 just took some time to really develop that profile better and get that carcass better, the tire could be good because the rubber compound isn't bad. If you were riding that thing on the street maybe with like no turns, hell yeah. Like if you're drag racing on the tire, yep, you'd have a great time. But for like performance riding in the canyons, that tire just is too unpredictable and doesn't have the optimum carcass blend to get the most out of the grip that it has. That thing had pretty decent side grip, really good center grip too. But as the tire got some heat into it, it's kind of got a little bit unpredictable. Like there was a time where I got on the throttle and it kind of kicked me out of the seat a little bit, and it didn't do that the lap before. It was really kind of a snappy, kind of loose traction kind of thing. It was a really balanced and neutral tire. Like it did everything perfect and like nothing wrong. Like I really liked it here at the streets. It was predictable. Like it wasn't too sharp turning, wasn't too lazy. It allowed you to really use the most of the motorcycle without having to put in a whole lot of work. Just very neutral tire from straight up and down all the way to max lean. Great grip. Thing didn't move, didn't budge. Well, it budged one time, but I had to really load it with the throttle to do it. Maybe a little bit more vague feeling, just like maybe a little bit than the Group A tire, some of them, but I would have no problem doing track days on this tire or riding on the street. No problem. I love this tire. It's really good. My personal favorite of the group. It's a really good tire. It only took maybe like one warm-up lap to start get a feel for it. By lap 2, I was really comfortable. It's really consistent. It may not be the sharpest turning tire. You can kind of tell they had a little bit of flatter profile, but it's really neutral from straight up and down all the way to the lean. I like the way it handled, honestly. Like it handled pretty good. But this tire, it seemed to like squirm a little more. Like it had okay grip, but when you really loaded it, you could really feel that rear tire flexing and squirming a little bit. Not spinning, but just like squirming. It also took a little bit longer to warm up. There was like 2 times where it kind of kicked me, kind of went like a little bit on the throttle. Those are the 2 things that really stand up in my mind, but it was an okay tire. I kind of liked the way it felt and the way it steered, but it took longer to warm up and the grip just wasn't quite as good as the tire 1. But it was an okay tire. I would probably do a track day on it. Kind of had an oddball profile. It wasn't as extreme as tire 2 or 3, but it was a little bit tall in the front. It needed a little bit of effort to get steered. Once steered, it kind of fell into the corner very nicely though, super predictable. Had a good amount of grip, but at the same time, the rubber compound in the tire, it felt harder. Harder in the way where it didn't have as much feel, road feel, as maybe any of the other tires. It had a good grip for sure, but you just never really had that super like, oh, I got this. It was there, it had it for sure. Like that tire didn't even like budge really, but it just didn't have that like soft feel. I like this tire a lot. I kind of slowly worked into it, and the more I kind of leaned on the tire, the better it worked. Like it had a lot of grip. The thing didn't move at all. Steered really predictably. Took me a second to kind of get a feel for it. It doesn't have the sharpest steering manners. It's a little bit flatter, but not bad by any means. Really predictable from straight up and down to lean. Overall, though, that's a good tire. Like that's a solid tire. Stable. I wish it steered a little bit sharp, but it wasn't bad by any means.